that we have our friends from Mexico who are here in our program, and we'd like to welcome them. But before we do that, may I just read a disclaimer for the sake of our audience and our viewers. Views expressed on this program don't reflect Aya's. They are only opinions of our program participants. And yes, here at Aya's, we are glad because we are a global community and we have people coming from different nationalities, from different cultures. So today, let us go on with our trip to Mexico, and I would like to ask our guests to please introduce yourself.
My name is Ruth Ramirez. I'm from Mexico, and we're starting here our PhD program in curriculum and instruction.
Okay, thank you so much. Welcome.
And my name is Miguel Patiño. I'm married. I am doing a PhD in religion, and I've been here having more fun in the Philippines for the last 5 years.
Yes. We're truly blessed with your presence, and welcome to our show. I believe that we have some of your friends who will be coming later on in our program. So yes, we are very much excited to know more about Mexico. So let me start with Sister Ruth. Okay, what makes your culture really unique?
We were trying to go through many things, but the top 10 that makes us unique, and one of them is chili.
Oh, okay.
I know that many places also eat chili, but we have like
145 according to the last list.
Just put it like this, even birds eat chili in Mexico.
Oh my, okay.
That's a unique thing.
Okay, now in my country, Indonesia, we love chili, but now you say 145 different
Yes.
Different kinds of chili.
Yes.
Wow.
Something that happened really interesting here at Aya's one occasion is that one of our friends told me, Miguel, you have chili because I am preparing some food and I want to put some chili. Yes, and I asked her, what kind of food are you going to prepare? And she said, are you kidding me? I just want chili. No, I told her, it depends on what kind of food are you going to eat. If it is soup, what kind of soup? If it is pasta, what kind of pasta? If it is beans, because we have chili for every single kind of food or meal. So at the end, I bring to her 7 different, and she was like in shock. What is this? So she tried different and said, okay, this really tastes different.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much. So anything else aside from chili? Is there something else that's unique about Mexico?
Yes, well, of course we have a lot of variety. This is a country that has a lot of variety because you can see people that is blonde with blue eyes, green eyes. You can see brunette people. You can see brown people. You can see every kind of skin colors. You can see even
shape of their heads.
Curly hair, straight hair, big eyes, small eyes, tall people, 2 meters high, and short people, 156, 160. These varieties is in there. So you cannot take someone and immediately say, this is Mexican.
Okay,
I can put you there and they will believe that you are Mexican. Only when you start speaking Bahasa, they will know that you are not Mexican.
Okay. But you have only one language that everybody speaks, right?
We all speak Spanish.
Okay.
Then in the higher, there's like mountains, and there is the autochthonous language, and they have like Maya, and they have this other.
Yes, we have 68 languages that are officially recognized by the government. 68 officially recognized by the government, but all of us speak Spanish. I mean, this is what happens. Another unique characteristic that I may say is mariachi. Mariachi is one of the very Mexican music uniqueness that we have in our country. So wherever you go and wherever you hear mariachi, you immediately know that this is music from Mexico.
Go on.
And probably you may share something about soap operas as well.
Oh yes, when we came here and we said that we were from Mexico, they start oh, Marimar and
Yes.
all the soap operas, because Mexico, it's characterized by that. It makes very nice soap operas. And we went to Malaysia and we could see they were translating our Mexican
Yes.
soap operas. And we don't see back there in our place, but here is like, oh, let us see a little bit to see Mexican people. But they're very good for that. In every country, you can see that they translate that. And when we arrived here, was the first thing, Marquez and
Because of box, Mexicans and Filipinos have had a lot of history with box fighters. And what is interesting is that on the ring we have a lot of fight, but
Outside of
outside the ring we have a lot of
you-
friendship. Yes.
Yes, that's very important. That's
Yes,
very
and this is one of the, because Mexican people are so passionate, like the chili that is so spicy. Mexicans are very spicy as well, with a lot of passion. That's why we live sports with a lot of passion. If you go to a soccer game, you will hear people chanting all over the 90 minutes, all throughout the game. Not only chanting for the team, the same happen in soccer, in box, in basketball, and one unique sport that we have. We call it charreria. Charreria
Tell
is,
us more about that sport.
Yes, this is a unique sport in Mexico. The closest to this is the rodeo, the U.S. rodeo, because charreria is more based on horses. So, for instance, one of the competitions there is something that is called the Pass of Death, when one person is riding the horse, and while the horse is running, you need to change to a wild horse on the running of the horse, and you need to change, and you need to stand on the wild horse and totally control the other one. So charreria is a very unique sport, and it's a national sport.
Wow. Now I can relate when you say the spicy food makes you excited and all those things, because yes, really, if you eat chili, you really can express yourself a lot. Now, yes, that's very true, and it's nice to know that you have this kind of experience, because I can relate to that.
And that
yes,
goes
you would
in
like
every,
to.
it goes in every sense. It's like if it's for love, it's also a very
Yes.
passion. If it's when you're raising children, okay, it's also like that. Once one teacher went to my house to tell me, your boy did this and this and that. Oh, really? Yes. Which of the three? Tell me which one. And he told me the name. Fulano. Immediately come here. So I was just
okay.
like, everything, my face changed, and the professor was so scared. And I say, excuse me, you will see the Mexican mother, you just cross the border here. And right now, the Mexican mother will talk, and just please step aside, because I need to teach a lesson here. So everything, your eyes, everything is like very, waving hands in your face. You're never gonna do that. And we have this one very wrinkled, because we use them a lot.
Very expressive in a way. Now,
So he was scared. I think he left home like very scared.
That's wonderful. Now you brought up a discussion about family. In many cultures, family is much valued. In the different cultures. Now tell us a little bit about what are the values that are highly regarded in the Mexican culture.
Okay, I would like to connect the previous question with this one, because this is very closely related. That is food. Okay. Mexican food is quite unique. Most of people think that, for instance, Taco Bell is Mexican food, but that is more a Tex-Mex food. That means is more Mexican American food.
Okay.
The Mexican, the 100% Mexican food is something. Sometimes we call it vitamin T, because this Mexican is made of tacos, tamales, tortillas, tostadas, the taquitos. So many important and unique uniqueness regarding food is made with tea. That's why we call it vitamin T. But vitamin T. But in every family, we have some specific food as well. Because the tamale that I eat at my wife's house is different than the tamale that she will eat at my house, at my home. Why? Because yes, as you mentioned, the family value is something really highly regarded in our country. Everything in our society is centered into the family. Family is more important than individual aspects. So if I am okay, but my relatives are not okay, I need to diminish or try to support them in order for them to increase. And this is not only for my immediate family, but also for my extended family, my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law, my father-in-law. So the family value is very important.
You can see in some parts of Mexico, you could see how families live together, okay? It's like the parents' house is kind of in the middle.
Okay.
And then the other houses are like across the street or beside.
Now you mean to say that even if the children are married, do they
Yes.
still
They
live
build.
in the proximity?
Yes.
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 Oh, okay.
And actually parents buy their properties
Okay.
with acres, like many
Yes,
many extended land. So they give that for their children. It's like I have my place besides my father's house, next to my father's house, and then it's my sister's, and then it's my brother. Okay, in my case, because we have been living far. We decide to have it in a separate part. Yet for them, it's like, why? It's like kind of offensive because
Yes.
they used to have to live together like that. In Mexico, our president from our university, there are 13 brothers and sisters. So every December, from every part of the country where they live, they come and get together on December. So it's like 180 members of the family, okay? And that
Just
get together
in one place.
for 2 weeks, and they have different worships and activities, and family is very, very, it's a family-centered a way of
Actually, when I was a child, I do remember every Sunday was a family reunion with my mother's family from my mother's side. So we spent since 10 a.m. on Sunday till 6 p.m. on Sunday, all together with the 7 brothers and sisters of my mother. Check. With the 7 brothers and sisters of my mother, with all my cousins. So we used to gather on Sunday, 10 a.m., all the family get together, and we spend the whole Sunday with our grandpa or grandma, all uncles and aunties, all of us together there. What did we do throughout the day? Just talking, sharing stories, and eating together, and watching the game of our team during that day. And at the end of the day, our grandpa always called us to give us our token that we call it a Sunday. And we receive 10 pesos, the eldest cousin, or 5 pesos, the youngest. Of course, the Mexican peso is a little bit different than the Filipino pesos, but let's say something like $2 on that time for them. So everybody fall in line for the Sunday that grandpa gave weekly to every one of grandchildren that he had. So this family reunion is weekly. It's a weekly family reunion, and everything moves around family there.
Wow. I'm just imagining things now that if someone has 6 or 8 children in the family, and then you have this family gathering. It's going to be a house that's packed with everyone,
Yes.
children running. And tell me, is this a practice that is done by everyone in your country, or is just some provinces or some places? Or
Usually it's just is different for each state.
Okay.
Because we're divided by states.
Okay.
So every state have their different way of showing that.
Okay.
Like where I am from is the north part. He's from the center.
Okay.
Okay. So in the north part, it's every time when everybody's done of doing their work, they come back and they have to go to the parents' house and say, "Oh, the day was like this," and all of them sit outside of the house. But that time, the mother already, throw water there so it can be fresh and smelling like they're already showered, and you can see they have powder everywhere and smelling nice. The grandma and that the children come, the parents with the grandchildren, and then they sit together and they talk. So every night they go there and just like to check, we're here. This was the day, and then they go back. So it's not only on Sunday. For us, it's like every
Yes,
every
and it can change on the day, on the kind of activity. In her case, for instance, this used to be on Saturday night. They get together. Sometimes they might have a grilled just to be together and talk. And on Saturday night, you gather around 9 p.m. and the meeting goes up to 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. just talking and sharing and having long conversations. It's just a matter of being together.
So if I'm invited to your house and you're having this family gathering, would you welcome me to join
Of
your
course.
barbecue and
Yes.
eat chili?
And then
Yes.
and then you will be part of this. Please, Ruth, sing a song for him. Sing a song, and then you sing.
Okay.
And then you play the guitar for him. He plays.
And there's
then you play the
mariachi,
guitar.
and-
And then you do this.
Yes.
The mariachi is very expensive, right? But
Oh, okay.
but people there sings like here. I think Filipino loves to sing also. So it's like you sing and then you say the poem to him. So the visitor in that moment, it receives the whole avalanche of talent from everyone, and the mother's trying to say, "Oh, he knows how to do this," and
If you are in my house by the time that we are supposed to have the family reunion, you have to come with us.
Stay there.
Yes, visitors are always welcome to family reunions, to the weekly family reunion.
Wow.
Mexicans are very friendly.
I'm sure
And
they
they
are.
like
I'm
that.
sure they are. Okay, let's talk about how do you communicate to each other in public. Either let's start with how do you communicate with someone who's a new acquaintance, and then we'll talk about how do you communicate with someone who you know for quite some time already, with friends. What is something that's unique in the way you communicate?
Well, for us, it's like whenever we meet someone, we may not know ever seen you before, but it's like if I've been seeing you forever.
Yes.
So it's not like you're someone I don't know. It's like, oh, really? And they say, oh, very nice. And in 1 hour, 2 hours that we were together, I can count you as a friend like the other kind of friends that we have usually. It's like there's no how do you say, boundary on saying no.
Yeah.
It's like we're not trusting on him. It's like we
No
trust.
distance between.
No, we trust.
Okay.
If you do something that we should not trust, then we put it back. And then we'll take our distance.
Okay.
But the first time is like this, and we love the other person, and we care. Like if something happened to you in your wake back, you say, the person was here. We go back like and help you like if you were part of our crew, So it's not that we don't have a known person. It's like at the moment we say, nice to meet you, and it has a family. And that moment for us, we care. We care enough.
It's amazing because you open yourself to strangers
away.
as if you've known him for forever. And
Yes.
why is it so? Why don't you? I mean, don't you have a sense of you need to secure yourself from strangers? How is it? How can this be done?
This is a good question. I think it's part of showing that you are honest and the communication is very straightforward.
Okay.
As you know, Mexicans and I believe in Latin America, physical touch is very important. So as soon as you meet someone, though it's the first time that two ladies just met, they will kiss as
A sign of
yes,
trust.
men will shake enthusiastically and how are you? What's your name? What do you do for life? What is your profession? How many children do you have? And immediately you jump into a deep conversation, and it may happen that you are on a bus and you start having a conversation throughout 2 hours with this person as if you have met this one from.
And next thing you know, he's part of your friends in Facebook, and then you write back and come back and say, "How are you? How was your trip? Very good." Oh, and it's like someone they really care. Okay,
Wow,
it's
wow,
like, it's
that's
not that we're
amazing.
fake or it's just at that moment. No, you open your heart like that. And sadly, this is one of the things that we're missing in Mexico right now. It's like starting to disappear because of the very hard situations that we're facing with cartels and things like that, that you have to take your distance, because when you say something like that, they're taking account of what's going on, and later on they
might
can
go
brave or
against
something
you.
like that. But we still, in our place, because we have a small town, so everyone, hey, Mr. Fulano, hey, how are you? It's very friendly, very, we trust so much. When we got married, he told me, you cannot be like that. You have to make your distance, because you open your heart like that. Don't do that. Because he's coming from a big city, and I'm a
Okay,
town
okay.
girl. Okay, so for us,
yeah.
everyone is like welcome, and we love you, and we care, and oh, this is for you. And I say, no. You don't know what they're thinking. And I say, well, they're not thinking any bad. Just don't hold me like that, because you have your way of thinking, like that. But I learned when I lived in cities why he was saying that, that we should
Yeah.
be careful on that. But
So, for example, when a man meets another man for the first time, what is the common gesture? Is it shaking hands or hug, or how do you do it?
Usually shaking hands in enthusiastic manner. Men and men, they don't shake like this. No.
Okay.
They shake enthusiastically. You can feel the strong shaking
Okay.
of hand.
Your body will shake.
Yes. That's because emotion is very important. Probably this is one of the aspects in verbal communication or any kind of social communication. Emotions are expressed often in an often manner. You can tell when someone is angry, when someone is happy, when someone is sad, when someone is worried, because people will express how they feel, how they are. And I think this is a very good opportunity, because sometimes you are traveling on a bus, on an airplane, and the person beside you, you can tell how is this person, if sad or happy or whatever, and you can approach depending on her or his emotion.
So it's easy to see that people
Yes.
are frustrated, people are
Yes.
not
Mexicans
wa-
are
wanting to-
very easy to read.
Okay.
You
okay.
can read what's going on, but then you can also, in our case, we can tell when you're being honest. We can tell when you're doing like, hi,
Oh, okay.
We can tell like you're saying something, but you have something behind, because we can feel it. We can feel it. It's like we're not imagining anything. It's like something is there,
yes.
and then you take your distance, because you say, okay, something is wrong here. It's not like we trust, but we trust because we can read you.
That's right. That's
Okay, we can tell what's behind.
right. Wow. Okay.
And why? Because we're very emotional. We learn from very young age that your parents' eyes like means that you are in trouble. Okay. Or if someone came and you say, oh, come, Rutita, sit here. Your father, you're telling, sit here, Rutita. That means something's gonna happen after this.
Something's
you know.
not good.
So we learn from very young age to read the people. What's behind this? What is it? Is he happy? Is he angry? So we
Well-
learn that. And
Well, I'm learning something. So, viewers, then, if you want to visit Mexico, be with Mexican friends, you cannot hide your emotions. I mean, they can read your mind very well. So, well, this is a good learning experience. Okay, let's talk about what social practices are prohibited in communication in your culture.
You want to say something?
like this, Safari, how are you? No.
Uh-huh.
Dr. Safari, how
Oh,
are you?
okay,
Never.
okay.
You
You need to
approach
address-
someone with just like, hey, it's like if it's your age, it's okay. Younger than you, it's okay. But someone who is older than you or has a different, he's the president, he's the secretary, he's this or whatever thing, your teacher, you're never going to call them by name, by their name.
Express respect.
Yes,
very much.
yeah, as in French language, in most of the languages, we have the polite and the informal.
Okay.
You usually don't use the informal when you meet someone for the first time.
Okay.
That is something important. And second, you don't use the informal with someone who is older than you, or who is in a position that is of a position of respect. So I think this is quite interesting because this is something that sometimes people who just come to Mexico for the first time, they try to be just as open like that, but sometimes this is unrespectful. So this is one of the things that probably I can say that is forbidden in communication.
Well, yes, I'm trying to understand because sometimes when people from other countries come and they see that, this is someone my age, without knowing that he's a person of respect, and then try to address, just trying to be nice.
Yes.
And then, so what are the consequences if these do happen? I mean, of course, there won't be punishment, but there's some sense of embarrassment. How do you deal with people who just call anyone without respect?
Yeah, two things might happen.
Okay.
The first is, as you say, they can embarrass you. So for instance, they can say, did we play to marbles together when we were children? And you know that they are saying,
Okay.
And the second, they may say nothing. I mean, they cannot correct you in public, but you are seen as someone who does not know how to place yourself in the social. So for me, it was interesting when first I came here to IAS, when someone younger than me, though was a professor, told me, "Hey, Miguel, how are you?" It was interesting because, yes, he's a professor, but he's younger than me. And in Mexico, I will never be Miguel for him. But my response always will be, "I'm fine, professor." Though he's younger than me, he's a professor, and I will never call him by his first name because he's a professor. So, in the other way, because we have the polite and the informal, if someone approach to you using the informal, the tú, that is the informal, and they will call you in tú, you will reply with usted, that is the formal. Okay. In that way, you will say, "Hey, we are not going to use the informal, but the formal." That's the different way.
Okay. Yes. Do you have anything to add to that?
I said it already. I think he mentioned it already.
Okay. Wow. So yes, and this is something that we might not be aware of, but it's good that we are learning here. We're learning. Well, thank you so much. Anything else you wanted to add
about
about
this one is
communication?
Like with Koreans, usually the first thing they ask is your age, right?
Okay.
Because at that moment they put their self.
They want to know where
how they're gonna
they are.
talk to you, like if this, or you're gonna be the one respecting, or I'm gonna be the one, or we're like this. Okay?
Yes.
And in Mexico, you ask, "Oh, what's your name? What do you do for a living? What's your position?" Because that is not about the age. Because if you're younger, but you're someone,
yes,
we respect. And then the safest way is to just respect from here and there.
I think that's the safest
until we
thing.
can say, we can. You can call me Ruth.
Yes.
But when we're in front of the people, it's like Dr. Rita is very close. It's a very close friend. We really love that family. But that doesn't mean that when we are in front of the students, I'll say, "Hey, Rita, can you please?" Never. It's Dr. Rita, Dr. Green, always. Okay? And when we're together, we can say Rita. But you have to, whenever in front of someone, you change and you put the respect because you are another student, right? So that's
one other thing in this aspect is the importance of face-to-face or voice-to-voice communication. I found very interesting here in the Philippines that texting is a way of communication, or email. You can send an email and that's great and it works perfect. In Mexico, face-to-face communication is a must. If you cannot have a face-to-face communication, at least call. Because in that way, you may see the eyes, you may see the expression, and you can hear the voice, and you know if it really means what they are saying or not. So that's why this is different, and I'm not saying that this is better than the other. It's just different, and this is something really interesting in the process of communication.
I think it's a good thing because then you have direct feedback about the other people's opinion or his reply, and you get it right away.
And
Yes.
why is this for? Because when we type, we say the same jokes that we could say like talking, but then the other people, maybe the other person who receiving the things, it may not be in a good mood, and they read that and say, what is she trying to say? Or and then it's a lot of misunderstanding. So if you're talking, they know exactly that you're saying that in a joke, joking. If you're doing this, they know that you're angry, or it avoids misunderstanding. So we don't type much. We're not. It's like email can be there. And I was telling the other day, I have like 7,500 emails without reading.
Oh, wow.
So when one
wow.
enters, it just go and get lost on the other list of emails. Okay. It's like it's something we don't use much because it's more on phone.
Yeah.
Or face.
Face-to-face communication is
Yes,
more
and
valued. Eh?
People sometimes ask, why you didn't reply my email? because I prefer to see you and I prefer to tell you what is happening, because in that way you will know the emphasis of my answer either is good or is not good, and it's part, and we still need to get used to this way of communication that is great here.
Yes. Okay. Interesting. Well, I know you have shared one or two experience that you had here in the Philippines about things that are different from back home. But if you can share one or two experience about an incident here at IAS or here in the Philippines that was related to the cultural differences that we just talked about, and how did you deal with it?
This is a very interesting question, because we have cultural differences not only with people from Africa or Asia or North America, but even in our own Latin American culture. Because though we are Mexican and Argentinians and Chileans and Peruvians, we are different. We have different traditions. We have different cultural practices and so forth. So even expressions, one word may mean something different in their country. So for me, it was really different when I came here, and the VP for Finance, Mr. Lust, he told me, Miguel, don't call me Mr. Lust. I am Germán. I mean, I cannot call him Germán.
Yes.
I'm younger than him. I'm a student here. He's the VP for Finance. I cannot call him Germán. And it was very difficult for me to start calling him Germán. But then I noticed that most of Latin people call him like that, and well, I struggled with that, and I always use the polite way in Spanish to call him, and he told me, don't use usted, use tú, Miguel. It was like, trying to speak in a different language. Later on, or years later, Mr. Montero came. And Mr. Montero told me, Miguel, don't call me Mr. Montero, call me Jorge. I cannot call you Jorge. You are Mr. Montero for me. I cannot call you Jorge. And he told me, no, you need to call me Jorge, because otherwise, how can you call me? And then we continued our conversation, and he told me, okay, Pastor. And I told him, why are you telling me that I call you Jorge and you are telling me Pastor? This is not right. And then he told me, well, I can never call a pastor by his first name. And so it's interesting.
The two of you are facing the same struggle.
Yes, the same struggles. So what can I say? It's to live in Ayas and to have these intercultural experiences is something great, is something amazing, and I just try to do in a best way possible.
Thank you so much. And maybe we have a few minutes left. If you can just share with us, what do you want to tell our audience? Tips probably that you can share on what we need to do to prepare ourselves to visit your country. If we were to come to your country, okay, here's what you need to do. Here's what you, and aside from what we have shared a while ago, what are the lessons that we need to know before coming to your country?
Well, that if you don't eat chili, you're going to have a hard time.
Oh,
Number
okay.
one. The other one is that you need to lose kind of 10 kilos here in order to gain them there.
Okay.
Because food is very delicious.
I'm sure
Okay?
it is.
And the other one is be ready to make very good friends for life. Because it's just once and they can last forever. Okay, that kind of friendship it's open and given right there. We're very straightforward to say things and to tell things to others. So don't feel offended if someone tells you right away, this, it's wrong. Do it like this, or try. We go straight for it with all the best of the intentions, never to hurt you, never to. It's just we're trying to help, and sometimes people can take it in a wrong way. But be aware that we love anyone who's willing to love back. Okay, it's the. I can tell you about that. And Mexico has many beautiful places. Cancun, you can go there and visit. You can visit Monterrey and many other places. It's a beautiful places. I wish we could show you many places to see.
Yes, thank you.
One aspect important when you go there, you need to understand that Mexicans are flexible. Deadlines are like
Okay, I like
ideal
this.
ideal dates. But deadline, when you say you need to submit on June the 1st your
Okay.
assignment, Professor, he doesn't really mean June the 1st. Sometimes June the 1st is the first date to start negotiating the real date, the extension. The same happened when you are invited for lunch. If I say to you, Mr. Sumenda, please come for lunch home at 12. If you show up 11:30, that's not polite. That's not polite. If you come 12 sharp, we'll be in trouble because everything is not ready. Yes. The best way when we invite you to come at 12 for lunch, come between 12:30 or 12:45. That's perfect time.
That's the best time
The
to
best
come.
time. And
Well,
and we have some table manners, and this is important where you go when you go there. Table manners are really important. When you are there, we need to understand that the head of the family is the one who established the pace of the process. Nobody sit around the table until the father of the house sit. You don't go there and sit
right.
in any chair. No, there is a seat for a sign for the father of the family. There is a seat assigned for the mother of the family, for the eldest son, for the second son, for the third son. They cannot switch. If they want to switch, they even are fighting for their
in
seat.
trouble, huh?
And we have a seat for visitors and everything. So table manners when we're sitting is quite. It's not so complicated, but it is very, very, very nice.
well, thank you so much. Let's give our hands to the Patino family. Thank you so much, Pastor Patino and Mrs. Ruth. You've been amazing here. I wish we have all the time we have to discuss about Mexico. I'm not sure if we're ready to go to Mexico. Are we? Oh, okay. There's a lot of things to learn.
Please come.
But we're
Wait
thankful
for us to be there.
that they've shared with us a lot of things that will be very helpful for us. And one of these days, we'll visit your amazing country. Definitely. So, my dear friends, thank you so much for being part of this program. We would like to invite questions, comments, and suggestions from our audience. And if you have suggestions or comments, please write to us at united@ias.edu. We would really appreciate your comments or questions. Again, write to us at united@ias.edu. So once again, thank you so much and hope to see you again in our next episode of United in Diversity. God bless you all.